And I 100% support killing terrorists.
Sure.
I love,
but they're killing people that they have labeled terrorists.
Yes.
Trump just pardoned the biggest drug kingpin since Pablo Escobar. I'm not even exaggerating. Let's watch on Abby Phillips' show as these MAGA pundits defend that indefensible move, especially the woman on the left, Batya Sargon. I can't make sense of her logic, but maybe you can. Let's watch.
For an administration supposedly hell-bent on cracking down on illegal drugs, why did the president promise to pardon one of the world's most notorious drug kingpins? The pardonee is this man, former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernández. Trump made his announcement just days before the presidential election in Honduras, saying that Hernández had been treated very harshly and unfairly. Just last year, an American jury convicted Hernández of drug trafficking. He was sentenced to 45 years in federal prison. Now, according to DOJ, Hernández conspired to move more than 400 tons of cocaine into the United States. In exchange, Hernández received millions of dollars in bribes that he used to fuel his rise in Honduran politics. And while in office, he used his power to protect and enrich his drug trafficker friends. So, again, why is this happening? Why is there a pardon at play here? Especially since, in their own words, Trump and his administration are using this justification to blow up boats in the Caribbean.
We made a lot of progress with Venezuela in terms of stopping drugs from pouring in.
We must meet narco-terrorists and their illegal activities with strength and swift action.
The cartels have only gotten more powerful, so the president is taking these unprecedented steps.
We don't want drugs coming in from Venezuela or anybody else or any place else.
There was massive amounts of drugs coming into our country.
To take on and eradicate these drug cartels.
So, what's up with this? This is one of the most confounding things. I mean, Bill Cassidy, Republican senator, says, why would we pardon this guy and then go after Maduro for running drugs into the United States? Lock up every drug runner. Batya, do you have any sense of why this is happening?
I have no idea why he did this. I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have told him to do it. I think it's really silly, especially because I think when working class Americans in those forgotten Rust Belt communities where you have high schools where 5 kids have overdosed and died, when they see him blowing up those boats, they feel like he sees their pain. They feel like somebody cares. And so to me, I totally agree with you. I have no idea why they did this. I will say that I'm much angrier about the 86 Somalis who embezzled $1 billion from Minnesota taxpayers and then accused people who were trying to call them out of racism than I am about this, because that actually speaks to...
Does one have to bother you more than the other?
American generosity that I just...
We've talked a lot at this table, and you've mentioned this, I think, very eloquently, how much death and destruction is due to drugs in this country. But I think even the reason I'm really surprised is because I would have thought that you would be very concerned about a rationale for military action that is deceptive in nature. That if the Trump administration wants to engage in regime change in Venezuela and they're using drugs as an excuse, but it's really something else, wouldn't that be more troublesome?
Well, and they've indicted Maduro,
I
right?
Dispute
they've done this.
That characterization, Abby. I don't think that there's any evidence yet. If there will become evidence of regime change in Venezuela, I will absolutely object to that. For now, they are killing terrorists, and I 100% support killing terrorists.
Sure.
I love...
They're killing people that they have labeled terrorists.
So she deeply wants these people on the boats to be killed without trial, without evidence. And yet she hasn't seen any evidence of regime change. So, it's fine. Let's just, invade other countries just for the hell of it.
Yes,
okay, just to be clear.
People I think are terrorists, people I am at war with, who are smuggling drugs into this country.
I'll tell you, terrorists don't travel 11 to a boat, in a speedboat leaving the coast of Venezuela.
So you think Trump is just drone striking boats in the Caribbean?
I am saying that
like
I have been to Iraq, I've been to Syria, I have done airstrikes against terrorists, and this is not what we're dealing with here. That is my opinion. That we are talking about drug mules. When you look at how drug trafficking works, right? Let's take the September 2nd strike. This is a boat leaving the coast of Venezuela with 11 people on it. That is like drug trafficking 101. You're going to pay the least amount of people and use the most amount of space for drug trafficking, right? You don't want to have to pay 11 people, and you're going to send people who are expendable, by the way. You're not sending your kingpins
So it's
to
only
traffic
terrorism
drugs.
if you exceed a number of humans on the boat? Is that the argument?
I'm saying that
she's saying it's drugs, not terrorism.
But do we even
it does
know?
classic sense.
Well, the terrorists are bringing the drugs.
Do we know? Do we actually know that? Okay? I think that's, again, a basic question in all of this. Do we know for sure that all of these people were involved in the drug trade? Do we even know what drugs we're talking about here?
But in a sense, it doesn't matter.
Do you know?
There is an element of the U.S. intelligence is arguably the best in the world.
So
I don't think
they be
that
able to tell us at this point?
When has the U.S. military ever given every single detail to the media?
Well, they're not even telling us the terrorist
We know that this has actually been an issue
I mean,
in Trump's first term enough that the first administration was worried during COVID these cartels were stockpiling fentanyl and they were stockpiling cocaine with the intent of distributing them.
But
and
we
it's
know
also,
we prosecuted
it's also
this
a migration
guy.
problem. Venezuela's been sending gang members here to the
We
US.
actually prosecuted, starting in the Trump administration.
Yes.
This guy.
Right.
For not just
with
not
evidence
just being
in court.
Yes.
Yeah, with evidence in court, not just for being some random guy on a fisher boat, but for being a mastermind of a government-sponsored drug cartel. And now the Trump administration is saying that they care so much about stopping drugs from coming into the country that they're going to bomb the guys on a fishing boat, but set free the guy who ran the cartel.
That's the issue. It's not an either or Somali fraud in Minnesota, which I agree with you is terrible. It's if you really want to get rid of drugs in this country and you're serious about it, do it across the board. This goes to this very strange pardon strategy that this president has that's mysterious. Why does he pardon, the head of
I mean, the last guy wasn't
Why
so
is
much
he
better,
Oh, no, he was much more transparent. He pardoned his families, of course. Yeah, but those are obvious why he did that, right? I mean, you knew why Joe Biden was pardoning people. Not that I was for it, but you knew why he was doing it. There's no rationale to pardon a drug kingpin, right? And if you're letting a guy who brings 4 tons of cocaine in off the hook, you're essentially creating open invitation.
400 tons. And I think part of the justification was that people in Honduras told the president, that this guy is fine and the facts were wrong. And that is the president saying an American justice system. As you mentioned, Abby, the investigation started. One of his co-conspirators was indicted under Trump 1, under Bill Barr's DOJ. So you have an American justice system, an American jury convicting this guy in a full-scale federal criminal trial. And that is not enough to prove that he's a drug
And we did not even get into the fact that part of what's going on here is an attempt by the Trump administration to influence the upcoming Honduran election, in which a candidate who is the political heir of this convicted drug kingpin is now running for president. You see him there with a picture of Trump underneath him. So it's all very much connected.
Trump pardoned this guy precisely because he was deeply corrupt, okay? For no other reason, really. Trump is corrupt to his core, and his allies are corrupt as well. The message of the pardon is really very straightforward. You help me, and I'll help you. I will protect you. It's always transactional with Trump. This guy played ball with Trump during Trump's first term. Hernandez was convicted and imprisoned under Biden, which is the other layer as well. Wiping that away lets Trump humiliate Biden, discredit Biden's DOJ, and it's the same pattern that we saw him do with Obama. Anything that Obama did, Trump wants to undo it. But also, who does Trump like? He likes Putin, he likes Jair Bolsonaro, Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia, and now Hernandez. Authoritarian, corrupt, nationalistic dictators. That's who Trump buddies up with. By pardoning Hernandez, it's like Trump is protecting another mob boss. Any prosecution of him or his allies automatically is corrupt. That's just a blanket posture that he takes. Always. If they can persecute Hernandez, they can persecute Trump. If the charges against Hernandez are fake, then the charges against Trump are fake too. That's the pea-brained logic he wants us to absorb. It's very Putin-esque, where you do things that are so openly corrupt that it erodes the sense from any would-be opposition that they would have any ability to stop it. It's this behavior that also sends a signal to every other corrupt politician here in the US and abroad that if you are loyal to me, I will protect you no matter what, no matter how bad, no matter what it looks like from the outside, no matter what you've done and how bad it would look if I were to pardon you. I don't care. I will pardon you. Your corruption is protected. So as I watch this panel sort of roll around with the idea like, gee, why is he blowing up these small-time drug smuggling boats in cold blood just to then pardon a man who's smuggling literally 400 tons of drugs? It's all kind of funny because, guys, he's a sociopath. He's a total psychopath. He doesn't understand drugs. He doesn't care. He's a brute and a fascist, and his grip on power is the only thing. It's like a disorder. It's like a kink. It's like people suffering is required for him to feel like he's truly winning. Winning isn't enough. That's only part of it. Undoing everything Obama did, undoing everything Biden did, persecuting, prosecuting his political rivals, immiserating the working class to enrich himself. I could go on and on and on and on. It's what Trump is all about. Okay, guys, subscribe to the channel. I've gone on for too long. Like this video if you made it this far. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.